Oh, hi. Nice to see you again. I told you I would be showing you some things on Google Forms that I like to do. Alberto went over a lot about Google Forms, and I'm just going to show you a few more things that you can do that might be helpful. When I set my Google form up, I always put at the very top, what is your name? So that when it comes through on the Excel sheet, I have the student's full name right there. I also have started putting in right here below, what's your name? I've started putting in, what is your student ID? And I'll show you why that's important in a little bit. So definitely put student name, student ID, and a lot of time I want to know what class. I teach K-5, so what grade they're in, but for you it might be what period they're in or what section, that kind of thing. That's really helpful so I can see by class kind of how people are doing too, and I can just send it to multiple classes if I need to. All right, so this was a really simple one about se pone. We were doing se pone, puts on in Spanish. And so they really just had to figure out, using cognates and some vocab that we had worked on, what someone was going to put on in the picture. I did this after I did a movie talk with a monkey putting on a bunch of different things. So you can make any kind of questions you want. I like true false questions a lot. But in this one, I did multiple choice and I inserted pictures. This little guy over here is super helpful. Google makes it so easy for us. Add a question. When you hover, it just tells you import questions, add title and description. You can add images. You can add video, like YouTube video, or maybe your own uploaded video where you're asking a question even. And then if you want to add another section, like to separate them, which you can do if you're doing like create your own story, which I'm going to put some links for somewhere in this slideshow. So yeah, biggest thing, name, student ID, section. If you don't know, you can move them up and down. You click on whichever one you want, and you can grab onto these little dots, and you can switch them to a different area. I could bring it all the way. I didn't get all the way down there. Boots are a little big. So you can bring it down and you can move these anywhere you want. I do not want to do that. Let's see. That's okay. Let's put it back so I don't forget. What is your name? Goes on top. Okay, in the settings, up here at the settings gear, if you click on that, just once, general, I always collect email addresses. Okay, it'll get their .net address. So when you pull that Excel sheet at the end for your data, you have their email address as well. I don't send them response receipts. I don't want them to get used to it in case I forget to click it one time. And sometimes they haven't actually completed it. Like they've done some of it, but not all of it. I do restrict it to Denver Public Schools just so, I don't know, it's not running around out there somewhere. And limit to one response. I don't let them do it more than once for online activities. I don't let them edit it afterwards. I mean, there's case scenarios where I can resend it or let them do it again a different way. But in general, and I don't let them see the charts or anybody's responses because you never know what they'll write. Another big part on here is over to the quizzes. This is really important. Making a quiz. So it's going to automatically let Google give point assignments. So if there's 10 questions, it's going to give you 10 out of 10. 6 questions, blank out of 6. All right. Locked mode. A lot of people feel differently about this one. So if you knew that they were in school with you and they were all on a Denver Public Schools owned device and on the same network, I've heard can also have problems even if they're not on a DPS network at times. I don't lock this because if they're on their home computer, it's not a managed device. So you need to leave this unlocked. Okay, save. And anything else I want to show you on forms? I think my video is just about over for timing. So if I have more, I will get it to you. And if not, I'll see you in the next section. Ciao. Hi again. I did have a few more things that I wanted to get to for, pardon me, for the Google Forms. Okay, so I told you be sure to put the student ID and their name. The reason I do that, when you want to pull the data, when you want to look at what everybody's done. For me, I've got about 100 kids per grade, so about 600, a little bit less because kinder's a little smaller, but I have a lot of data to go through, and Google Forms is like my best friend for that. So responses is here. You can click on responses, and this, my little friend right here, my little spreadsheet, I'm going to click on that. Yes, you can go through and look at all of this, but nobody knows who these people are. If I knew all my students' ID numbers, that would be crazy. So right here is your Excel sheet, and it's just going to pop it right out. Okay, sorry about that. Had to switch the Screencastify screens. Okay, so here's the Excel sheet that I just pulled from the form, clicking that green kind of hash mark looking thing. That means Excel usually, or spreadsheets, or Google Sheets, I guess is better. So one, I can tell when they do it, that comes automatically. It pulls their email automatically because I selected that in the settings, and then I have their name. Please don't read their last names because I'm not supposed to share that, I don't think. And then I have their score. So what I do is I grab all of their email addresses, and I send all the people who have completed it, doesn't matter how they did, I send them all an email saying, I received your work, way to go, getting your work done. It's just super fast. I can grab everybody right then. A reason to get the student ID is you can take these, copy them and put them into one big email. Google, our Outlook works great with it, our regular Outlook here.org. And then you could grab the scores. And if I had their student IDs right here in the middle, I would just grab student ID and the score next to it and send it out. Just like a college course where you look down on the thing and you find your number and that's your grade. It's the same kind of concept for them, that if they want to find it, they can find their number and do that. And then nobody else is seeing each other's grades, which is a really big deal at my school, I know. There's a lot of privacy concerns that students will feel bad or gloat or whatever it may be. So student ID, and then you can just pull all this data. And then I can look at each of the questions and see which ones we did well on, which ones we need to keep working on. Anything else on Google Forms I wanted to show you? I think that's it for now. You can obviously change the background and the theme of the Google form and make it fancy as much as you want. I kind of just keep mine all that standard look. So nobody gets confused. They always know that's what a Google form looks like. They know what they're in. But you can make it as fun as you want. So good luck. Have fun.